All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Insomnia. This one will be quick, and it's quick because Insomnia doesn't do a lot, but it does just enough for us. Let's talk about what Insomnia is. Insomnia is what we call a headless browser. It's headless because it doesn't actually render anything, but it gives us way more fine-tuned control over what ends up getting sent, lets us inspect what's being received a lot better. So, to demonstrate, if I pull up Insomnia, first thing I want to do is make a new request. That's this plus button over here. And so, sample for students. All right, so I've got this request here, and so otherwise it's just like a regular browser. So like I can go to google.com, but the difference is that I have a lot more control over what the HTTP method is, what the body of the request is, if there's authorization stuff, a little bit easier to manage the query string over here. If there's any particular headers that I want to send, I can do all of that stuff. And then with the response, I can take a look at the source code that it sent back. I can see how it would render. I can take a look at the headers that it sent back, any cookies that it wanted to set. And I can even get super down low. So like down here, all of this stuff is the HTTPS part. The S part is all happening here. It's called a three-way handshake. So you even get like step by step by step by step logs of just everything that's happening as a part of this process. And that's kind of it. Like if we did this with the Pokemon API, pokeapi.co/API/v2/Pokemon. I can take a look at the response that it sends back. I can see any headers that it's getting. And so this gets really handy with debugging, because if you tried to do something and it's like, oh no, missing access control allow origin header. Well, we can make the request here and take a look at what comes back and see whether or not it had an access control allow origin header. And especially if we want to test things like here's a good example. So when I publish curriculum, that ends up going on the live site automatically. I have a whole pipeline for that. It doesn't do it when I'm just running the LMS on my computer. So I make a post request. Get over to the LMS. Okay, so I start up the LMS over here. And as soon as it finishes loading, all right, so that's up to date now. And if I want to send a post request to my program/build path to update my curriculum locally, I can send that request. Oh no, I got an error. Hope I try it again. There we go. It's going to do this slow ass request, and about 10 seconds in, I get a 200 OK back. Or the way that I delete your performances, like if you answer a question that I end up taking out, I need to delete your performances. So I made an endpoint for that where I can do that. Cool. While we're sending query string stuff, limit 50. Or offset 100. Ta-da! Or if I had like an auth token that I needed to send, I could say, all right, my API token goes there. I'm sending a post request, and I need to send some JSON. Can change that type in the body, and then write some JSON. Won't let me do it. But that's it. That's all Insomnia does. Ask me some questions about it.
The other day when you used it to find out like what all was in, instead of doing a console log on a API, you can do that with anything.
Yep. So if I go, I want to see what comes back on that Pikachu request. There we go. All this right here is how the keys that it has, what their values look like. So I can do that without having to run it in an app, which is a lot nicer.
I like that idea.
Yeah, me too. Does this have a light view?
Maybe under themes at the top.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Ooh, too late.
Cool. Other questions about Insomnia?
So it seems like the main purpose of this is more so like debugging.
Yep.
Kind of figuring out why, like if you're writing a fetch request, like, all right, why didn't this work? Let's throw it into Insomnia and
bingo.
Do. Okay.
So if what we're doing is browser to API, and we're not getting what we want, then how about we cut out the whole browser part of it and put Insomnia here instead. So now I don't have to worry about, oh, did it pick up my JavaScript file right? Is it difference between Chrome and Firefox? Is it a difference? Is it some syntax problem with my code? You can just take all of that out of it by having Insomnia hit the API directly and then examine the response.
So like, is this another possible use when you're like in an API and you realize and you see that like inside, one of the objects that it returned is another URL?
Yeah.
And you want to see if there's anything useful inside that URL?
Oh, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, I can just use it to explore.
Gotcha.
So yeah, if I want to see ability 32 or 31, pop that in here. There it is. I want to see what language URL 9 is.
Yeah, that's much nicer than having to run a fetch and then parse
Totally.
a response, and then console log that response for every single thing you want to see what's inside of.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
And like you can save these requests over here and do like put them in folders, organize them however you want. So if there's ones that you find yourself doing a lot, like the Pokemon API, and you can just have some saved requests over here. Or if like you're working on a particular project and you want to test your API endpoints with this, you can do that too. So yeah, this is super good for what we were talking about yesterday with APIs. We're just trying to see if they have useful information for you. Insomnia is a better tool for that than trying to build an app around it first. All right, other questions about Insomnia?
This helps. Thank you.
Excellent. Cool. Told you it'd be short. We got another lesson in about 15 minutes. Cheers.
Yeah.